Hi, how you going? So today I'm going to try hot dip disc dyeing. So these are a couple that I've got that a friend did. Got my Hitchhiker's Guide and my Southside Disc Golf Club from Melbourne. And I'm going to have a crack at doing that myself. So I downloaded this picture. I like the camera. I like the look. So I'm going to have a go at getting that onto my Nathan Queen Wraith. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is remove what's left of that stamp. That's come off after the last couple of years of throwing this disc. So I'm just going to take some paper towel and some acetone nail polish remover and see if I can get that. And that's coming off nicely. This will also clean the disc, which will get it ready for dyeing. And that's all ready for dyeing. Okay, so we've got our stencil. Now I've got to transfer that to the vinyl. I have this vinyl that I bought off Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. I just need to cut a piece that is bigger than the disc with a bit of overlap. Next I need to get the stencil onto the vinyl in order to cut it out. So to do this I've just got a plastic lid and a little torch. And with a Sharpie just draw the pattern onto the vinyl. So there we have the stencil already. Now I've just got to cut it out. Next, take some contact. This is the same kind of contact that you would put on books for school and that kind of stuff, and put that out over the top. That helps transfer the vinyl, flip it over and transfer it to the disc nicely. Okay, so I have the stencil on the disc and that's ready to go in the hot dip. I have my iDye poly, which is the right dye to use for this. I also have a frying pan which I bought from a charity shop because you don't want to be using your good pans for this because we're using dye and it'll dye them and it'll just get everywhere. So I'll just get that heating up on the stove. I've used about a teaspoon of this for 100 mils of water. I think I've got about 150 mils of water in there. So I'll just get that heated up. You want to get it so that you've got the steam coming off the top so that it's nice and hot. And that's looking like it's just about there. Give that a quick stir with the stick just to make sure the dye is all mixed in nicely. And then we're ready to put the stencil disc in there. And you kind of want to put it in from one edge to the other and Make sure it's floating in there, lift it up just to make sure that you've got dye on all of the bits. And then set a timer, get that going for about 7 or 8 minutes and then check it to see how it's going. And one thing I forgot to mention is you don't want the stove boiling, you don't want it bubbling and all that kind of stuff. You just want it to get hot, put the disc in, turn the stove off and just let it sit there in the hot water. Okay, so I think that should be ready now. Let's have another check. Yeah, that's looking good. Now I'll carefully take this across to the sink. Put it into the sink. Try to drip as little as possible and peel, and I'm going to peel all the vinyl off at the same time. Give it a bit of a wash and yeah. So this is the final product. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's nice and crisp. The dye took really well to that disc. I'm definitely going to be trying it out with some more discs. I've got especially some glow discs where they're losing the stamp and it's difficult to tell them apart. So I'll get some dyes on there and it'll be easy to tell them apart now. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you got any questions about the process or what I used. I'll link to the dye that I used in the description. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.